Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to talk about Joel Embiid, and we're going to figure out exactly who is the best big man in the NBA.
Man, you looking at him right here?
No, Joel, you're not the best big man, and I'll tell you exactly who later in this video. Once again, I have to give a big shout out to everyone that's been watching and subscribing and liking all my videos, because I've gained 11 subscribers in the last month, and that might not seem like a lot, but my channel's literally doubled, and I'm just really grateful. And yep, thanks again. Help me keep growing. Either way, I hope you continue to have a great day, and if you're not, turn that frown upside down and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more cool content. Thanks. So Joel Embiid is a Cameroonian basketball player for the Philadelphia 76ers. After 1 year of college basketball with Kansas, he was drafted with the 3rd overall pick in the 2014 NBA draft. After having multiple foot and knee surgeries that delayed his NBA debut, he finally started his career in the 2016-2017 NBA season, where it became clear that this man was for real. Although he only played in 31 games, in his first season he showed enough promise to one day be a future legend, a future Hall of Famer. In only his 3rd season, this past one, he averaged 27.5 points and 13.6 rebounds. Simply put, he's a beast, and he's a future Hall of Famer in the making, and the only thing stopping him is his durability concerns, which are pretty concerning, given that 64 games is the most he's ever played in a season. But I'm not going to dock him for that. But let's dig into the present, the playoffs specifically. In Philadelphia's series against the Toronto Raptors in the 2nd round, Joel Embiid started off slow in the first 2 games, but in the 3rd one, he dominated, and I mean dominated. You know, these days, all it takes is one big-time performance for ESPN and First Take to start asking, is he the best player in the NBA at this position? KD, your video is coming soon. Just wait on it. Now, before I even get on that wave, I want to acknowledge 3 things that are absolute facts that I won't even dispute. Joel Embiid is definitely the best player on the Sixers. He's definitely the best center in the Eastern Conference. And he's absolutely a top 15 player in the whole NBA. Without a doubt, he's absolutely the heart and soul of the 76ers. I'm sure they can still make the playoffs without him with the rest of the roster, but there's no way they're winning the finals without his impact on the court. And next, who's even the 2nd best big man in the Eastern Conference? Al Horford? Marc Gasol? These are both really great big men, but by no means are they the 1st or even 2nd options on their teams. And lastly, neither you nor I can look someone dead in the face and name 15 players that are better than Joel Embiid right now. So how can I just sit there, make this video, and claim that he's not the best big man in the NBA? Simple. In my eyes, I judge a player's worth by their importance to the team, and whether or not their team's success is dependent on their presence on the court. So for me, the best players are the ones that have proven that their team needs them way more than they need their team to succeed. I remember a recent example where on the 2016 Cavaliers, when LeBron James didn't play, they were a sub 500 team. But when he did, they played like one of the top 5 teams in the entire NBA. So like I said before, the Sixers would probably still be a playoff team without Embiid. And there was a stretch going into the playoffs last year that proved that. In late March, the 76ers were on an 8-game win streak when Joel Embiid was injured and out for the rest of the season. But they went on to win 8 more games and ride a 16-game win streak into the playoffs. And that was even before they got Jimmy Butler or Tobias Harris. Simply put, the 76ers are a very good team that's well coached. And although Joel Embiid is the best player on it, by no means is he the only important piece or the only vital one. And I have to mention that the Western Conference is still much more competitive than the East. The East is very top heavy, with the top 4 teams all claiming all-star and MVP level players. But after that, the talent levels drop off significantly, making it a lot less impressive to get a 3 seed in the East compared to the West. And now, I'm sure you can guess who my pick for the top big man is. If you're still watching this video up to this point, thanks so much. Don't forget to like the video and let me know who your guess is for the top big man. For me, it's someone who's led his team in a more competitive conference to a higher seed. And he's absolutely the engine for his team. Like, they can't function without him. And I'm talking about Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. Nikola Jokic is a Serbian basketball player who was drafted with the 41st overall pick by the Denver Nuggets in the same 2014 NBA draft that Joel Embiid was selected. Being a second-round pick meant that he definitely wasn't as popular initially. Also, playing for the Nuggets meant that he wasn't playing for a very competitive team. Lastly, the Denver Nuggets are a way smaller market than the 76ers. When you have all those three facts combined, it's very easy to see why he flew under the radar for so long, even though he was an excellent player right out of the gate. He's been putting up triple-double like stats for 4 years, but only this year did he receive his first All-Star selection. And that mostly might have been because the Nuggets are the second seed in the Western Conference, right under the Warriors and ahead of other competitive teams like the Rockets and the Jazz. Don't get me wrong, the entire team is really good. They have really great players like Jamal Murray, Paul Millsap, and Will Barton. But it's clear when you watch the games who really makes the difference for them, and that's Jokic. Although he plays the center position, he's best described as a point center because he racks up the assists. The offense continuously runs through him because he's able to make some of the most pinpoint and precision passes that I've ever seen from any player at any position. Don't believe me? Just take a look at the league leaders in assists per game in both the regular season and the playoffs this year, and it's clear that Jokic is absolutely the point guard for the Nuggets. But back to the question of this video. Why is Jokic a better big man than Embiid? Just looking at their impacts for their respective teams answers that question. Jokic is so much more for the Nuggets, and he's produced way more for the Nuggets compared to Embiid. And I know I said I wasn't going to knock Embiid for his injury concerns, but it does make a point that Jokic has been way more durable and has been able to produce more in more games than Embiid has at this point. So they both put up crazy stats in every game, so it doesn't really make much sense to compare all of them one by one. Rather, I think this entire debate is a lot more nuanced, and it just depends on your definition of a best player. Is your best player the one that night in and night out just dominates every time he's on the court? Or is it someone that the team depends on, that the team absolutely needs? I mean, they could also be both, but I hope you know what I mean here. Embiid is an absolute beast in the NBA, but I'm not exactly sold on whether or not the Sixers absolutely need him to still thrive as a team. Jokic, on the other hand, led the Nuggets to the second seed, which stands for itself as an amazing accomplishment and a testament to just how important he is to how the Nuggets run as a team. Regardless, the results of these playoffs are going to factor heavily into this conversation moving forward into the future, since the Sixers and the Nuggets are both in really competitive series, and we're going to see which team pulls it out, because we know that Jokic and Embiid will be a big part of the result either way. And honestly, I'm excited for both players. They're both young 24-year-old centers that are bringing back the glory days of the center position, since it's been dying out in favor of guys like Steph Curry and Kyrie Irving. But really though, this is probably the worst era to be a center in, especially a slow-moving one, because now all the offense is coming from the guards and forwards that can move much quicker. So the fact that we have both of these stars for the near future makes me think that the center position will be alright. And I can't forget to mention all the runner-up big men who couldn't factor into this debate for one reason or another, such as Karl Anthony Towns or Anthony Davis. They're both really great big men, but neither of them have had high playoff seeds or have had much success in the playoffs in general, and both of them have at least played 4 seasons. Like honestly, Anthony Davis was the best big man to me in the NBA until about 10 minutes before I started making this video, and then I realized you really have to gauge the success of the team as part of the success of the player. They can be a great player putting up empty stats, unfortunately, and that should count against you. So, do you think I'm crazy, or do you think I'm completely tripping and there's no way that Jokic could be the best big man over Embiid or Anthony Davis or some other selection that you have in your mind? Either way, let me know, and thank you for watching to the end of this video, and I'll see you next time.